When I just kind of heard what they were doing, and of course you have Caitlin, who's drawn eyes from all around the world. That was like, why would I not? Why not be a part of something great? You go from Diana, and now you're going to a team who is going to be a contender for a championship. And so I'm stoked about this year. I'm really excited for the players, but I'm also excited just for the community and the relationship and the culture that you guys have here. I am really excited, and I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win. And I really do think that with the group that we have, that we are going to win. We are going to get a championship sooner. When this opportunity came about, when I first heard about it, I was so excited. Like I just knew that it was my time to get outside my comfort zone.
What happens when a WNBA star picks a team everyone said no one wanted? Picture this. Sophie Cunningham, a fiery sharpshooter with a reputation for chaos, steps into the Indiana Fever spotlight in 2025 and drops a bombshell right out of the gate. "We're winning a championship," she declares. No hesitation, no doubt. Her new jersey's already flying off shelves worldwide, and fans are losing their minds. This isn't just a roster move, it's a statement. Something massive is brewing in Indiana, and it's about to flip the entire league on its head. Stick around, because this story's wilder than you think.
What it do, peeps? Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
Sophie Cunningham didn't just sign with the Fever, she leapt at the chance. After years grinding with the Phoenix Mercury, she traded the desert for the Midwest, and the second she landed, the hype went nuclear. Her debut interview wasn't some timid hello. She walked in, stared down the camera, and promised a title. "I came here to win," she said, and you could feel the confidence radiating off her. Fans snatched up her jersey so fast, they sold out globally in days. This wasn't a quiet arrival, it was a mic drop heard across the WNBA. But why the Fever, and why now? The answer starts with one name: Caitlin Clark.
We're going to be a phenomenal group. I'm excited for all the other pieces that came in this offseason with me. And so when I really see what I can do here, I'm confident in that, but I really am just excited for the big picture of what everyone brings to this team. I really am just excited about not only what I can bring to the table, but as a whole, our versatility as a team is going to be huge. The style of play that you guys are playing here, that Stephanie is going to bring here, it's run and gun, it's shooters, it's emotion offense. And so my eyes lit up.
Caitlin Clark's been the Fever's heartbeat since her rookie year in 2024 blew the league wide open. She's a generational talent, electric, unstoppable, a magnet for attention. But not everyone was sold. Critics swore her rise came with a catch. "No one wants to play with her," they claimed, pointing fingers at the Fever's locker room like it was some toxic wasteland. One voice rang louder than the rest: Sheryl Swoopes, WNBA legend turned pundit, who bet big against Clark's pull. She painted Indiana as a place stars avoided, a sinking ship no one would board. Sophie Cunningham's arrival didn't just challenge that take, it torched it, and that's just the beginning.
So I played in emotion offense my whole life outside of kind of Phoenix. You know, it was more one-on-one and let people do their thing, and if you're open, you're open. Where I like to move, I like to run, I like to dribble and kick, you know what I mean? And so when you see Caitlin, when you see Aaliyah Boston, she's a great passer. Kelsey Mitchell's a great passer, that if you move and you make the great cut, you're gonna get the ball. And I think that just helps everybody, free up. And so I like to run. I kind of get the name Forrest Gump sometimes, and I'm like, hey, if you guys want to call me, that's fine. I'll beat you down the court every time. But I really am just excited for the style of play and what I can bring to the table for this team.
Sheryl Swoopes didn't whisper her doubts, she shouted them. Back in 2024, she went all in, claiming the Fever were a mess, that Clark's shine was a fluke, that players were itching to bolt. It became the rallying cry for every Clark hater out there, a soundbite weaponized to dim her star. Swoopes didn't stop either. She doubled down, smirking as she predicted Indiana's collapse. Meanwhile, the Fever stayed silent, plotting something bigger. Now, Swoopes is nowhere to be found. They've got an APB out for her because her hot take aged like milk in the sun. What happened next would shock everyone who bought her story.
So I'm just remotivated. I'm refocused. I feel like I'm back, to be honest. I got a nice tan and that always makes me feel good too. And so being here, honestly, it just makes me want to work even harder than what I've been doing. I am just so excited to be here. I'm from the Midwest. And so for me to kind of get back to my roots and be close to my family, I'm so excited. Like when I say that I am refreshed and I am motivated and I just like kind of feel like my spark is back. Everyone thinks I've been feisty. You've not even seen the feisty side of me yet. So this should be really fun. But for me, I'm excited to be closer to home. I'm excited to deep dive into the community of Indiana. I've already met a lot of really cool people. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here, get to know the community more.
While Swoopes was busy running her mouth, Indiana's front office was rewriting the script. This offseason wasn't some half-hearted tweak. It was a full-on heist. Natasha Howard, a defensive monster with championship pedigree, walked through the door. Then came Damana Bonner, a scoring machine who's seen every playoff battle imaginable. Sydney Colson rolled in next, a locker room glue with veteran savvy. And Sophie Cunningham, she capped it off, bringing fire and fight. This isn't a roster, it's a contender. Some whisper this was a calculated move, a middle finger to the doubters. Whatever it was, the Fever aren't playing around anymore.
Continue to learn and continue to grow. But I also think that I had Diana to take me under her wing, and who better else to teach you the ropes in the W than Diana Taurasi. And so for me to come in here knowing what I've been taught, I kind of want to spread it around, especially with how talented this group is.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Sophie's not just another shooter, she's the enforcer Clark's been missing. Last year, Caitlin took a beating. Cheap shots, flagrant fouls, you name it. Opponents targeted her like a punching bag. That viral hit from Kennedy Carter, just the tip of the iceberg. The young Fever squad had talent but no teeth, no one to shove back. Enter Sophie, the WNBA's resident agitator. She's got a rep for barking at rivals and standing up for her own. "I'll stick up for my teammates," she grinned. And you know she means it. They call her Forrest Gump for a reason. She's relentless, everywhere, all the time. Clark's got her bodyguard now, and the league's about to feel it.
I'm a little bit sassy sometimes, you know, which people don't like, but I love. My teammates always love. And to be honest, I spread the court. Like I can shoot the ball. And when you have playmakers who are quick, who are great passers with Kelsey Mitchell too, it lets them do their thing. And then the defense draws in and you're just ready to shoot. And so, you know, I think that I'll bring a lot to this team. But at the end of the day, I want to be a good leader. I want to be a great teammate. I want to bring the culture piece and make sure our egos are put aside and that we're all in here to win. And I think that's going to be pretty easy with the group that we have.
But there's more to Sophie's story than Indiana's glow up. Her exit from Phoenix raised eyebrows. In her Fever interview, she didn't hold back, hinting at a suffocating vibe with the Mercury. "I can finally be free," she said, gushing about Indiana's fast, shooter-friendly system. Was that a jab at Phoenix's one-on-one slog? Some speculate she clashed with Diana Taurasi's towering legacy, stuck in a shadow she couldn't escape. Whatever went down, Sophie bolted for a team that fits her like a glove. Run and gun, motion offense, pure chaos. She lit up talking about it, eyes sparkling like a kid on Christmas. And that's where things get really interesting.
I'm just excited to kind of maybe be that calm piece when it needs to be calm, that feisty, sassy, stick up for my teammates when it needs to be that. And so just kind of reading the room and, you know, whatever the team needs that day, being able to provide. But when it comes to being on the court, you know, I really am. I'm spicy, I'm fiery, I'm the ultimate competitor, and I'm really just trying to do whatever it takes for my team to win. A lot of people have a lot to say about it, but honestly, any teammate that you've asked that maybe had opinions about me before, once per teammate's like, "Oh, like we love you as him." I'm like, duh, I'm not a mean person. But to be honest, I think that it could be a game changer. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna hit my threes, I'm gonna do all that, but just from a young age, my parents were like, go be the hardest worker, don't let anyone outwork you, but also enjoy it. Like, you work your tail off, so when it's time to play a game, go laugh, go smile, go yell if you want to, go be passionate.
Sophie didn't just bring grit, she brought championship DNA. 15 playoff games under her belt, a finals run with Phoenix, and years soaking up wisdom from Taurasi, the WNBA's ultimate killer. She's not here to babysit, she's here to win. Indiana's got young stars like Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, all dripping with potential but light on postseason scars. Sophie's the missing piece, the vet who's seen the grind and knows the mentality it takes. "You need experience to survive the playoffs," she said, and she's ready to drill that into this squad. Could this be the spark that turns a rebuild into a dynasty? The signs are there.
I learned so much out in Phoenix. I was really blessed to have some really great teammates. You get to learn from the GOAT, Diana Taurasi. We've had a lot of people going in and out of that program. They've won championships. And so there's just a lot to learn. And people say I'm 3-and-D, which I've never really considered myself a defensive player. But I think the past couple of years, I've been able to get my body right. I've been able to bang down low and hold my own. And so I just think when you can get players who are versatile on not only the offensive end, but the defensive end, that's where you win your championships. That's where you make a statement. And so I'm excited to kind of get down and start working hard on the defensive end. I think as a team, we all have to kind of have that mentality, especially if we're trying to get to where we want to go.
The fans saw it coming before anyone else. Sophie's jerseys didn't just sell, they vanished. Fever Mania's gone global. Arenas buzzing louder than ever. Caitlin Clark's gravitational pull started it, dragging eyes from every corner of the world. Now with Sophie and the new crew, it's a full-on movement. This isn't some fluke hype train. It's a fan base smelling blood, rallying behind a team that's no longer a feel-good story. It's a threat. Rumors swirl that Indiana's building something historic, a squad ready to topple the WNBA's old guard. And the players, they're all in, chasing that spotlight together.
Some issues sometimes with the bigger people. I can get into their knees just because I kind of have that strength. But for me, I think that's an area where I could actually improve on. Like, it's funny to me that people are like, oh, she can play some defense. I'm like, oh, I mean, I struggle with that. I know Stephanie White's going to be on me about, getting better in that area. But for me, that's an exciting thing. A big shot is a great energizer. A great pass is a great energizer. But when you can get 3 stops in a row and you get the crowd into it and you frustrate the other team, like that's the toughest stuff that I like.
Sophie's arrival didn't just bury Swoopes' narrative. It dug it up and danced on the grave. I didn't come here for the spotlight. I came here to win, she said. And that one line shredded every word Swoopes spat. Players aren't fleeing Clark. They're flocking to her. Howard, Bonner, Colson, Cunningham, they saw a contender and jumped. Swoopes bet on chaos and lost. Now she's MIA ducking the fallout while Indiana gears up for a revenge tour. Will she ever clap back, or has she learned her lesson? Either way, Sophie's prediction, we're winning a championship sooner than later, feels less like a boast and more like a warning.
That it's okay to be a girl, but also go out there and kind of have a feisty mentality, and it's okay to sweat and it's okay to yell and kind of, have that grit about you. And so I've never had to try. It's just kind of who I am. And so I'm excited to kind of bring that energy to this arena. It is huge to have those relationships with not only your coaching staff, but with every single teammate. You don't have to be best friends, but you have to have each other's backs and you have to get along. And I think that's something that I love is the culture, because we're going to win games. We're going to lose games, hopefully not too many, but you're going to remember these types of moments. And so if you can really get to know and get that chemistry off the court and know your teammates, how they tick, what doesn't make them tick, I just think that's just a recipe for success on the court. There's more eyes on the W more than ever. There's more eyes around the world on this team more than any team, I think, in the whole entire world. And so I think just like embracing it, but making sure that we stay tight knit. I'm a very big culture and relationship type of person. And so I think there's going to be a lot of noise, but if this culture right here in this locker room can be good, I think we're going to be all right.
How valuable is that experience that you have, that not only you bring, but Dewana brings, Natasha brings, Sydney brings? There's a ton of playoff experience coming in here.
It's huge. And I think any player that you talk to around the league is, you can have the best team, but if you don't have playoff experience, that other team is going to win the majority of the time. And
so here's the Fever in 2025. Young stars with limitless ceilings, veterans with chips on their shoulders, and an edge that screams trouble. Clark's not just leading anymore. She's got a squad built to dominate. Boston's a powerhouse in the paint. Mitchell's a scoring blur, and Sophie's the firecracker tying it all together. This isn't a rebuild coasting on hope. It's a contender daring the league to stop them. Are they the team to end the WNBA's old dynasties? That championship Sophie's calling might be closer than anyone thinks. Drop your take in the comments. Can anyone slow this train down? Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's see where this wild ride takes us next.